The courtroom was cold, not physically cold, but the kind of cold that crawls under your ribs and makes your breathing shallow. Andrei sat on a wooden bench near the wall, holding his hands between his knees so no one would see them shaking. He was 25 years old, but right now he felt like a kid dragged into the principal's office, already knowing how it would end, just waiting for someone to say it out loud. The judge sat in front of him. To the left, the prosecutor with a thick folder. To the right, a court-appointed lawyer who looked at Andrei as if the case was already lost, and this was just a formality. Somewhere behind him sat his mother. Andrei didn't turn around. He knew that if he met her eyes he wouldn't hold himself together. She wasn't crying. His mother never cried in public. She could cry later, at home, in the kitchen, at night, quietly, so no one would hear. But not here. Here she was stone. The judge read monotonously articles, circumstances, prior offences, character references. The words passed by like background noise. Andrei caught only fragments: repeat offence, group involvement, disturbance of public order, mitigating circumstances, place of residence. Then came silence, the kind of silence that means something final is about to be said. The judge raised his eyes. "Andrei Seryovich," he said evenly, without anger, "do you understand that in your situation, real imprisonment is not a theoretical possibility?" Andrei swallowed. "Yes." The judge paused. That pause was worse than shouting. "There is an option," the judge continued, leaning slightly forward. 6 years, real time or probation. But probation is not, you got lucky. It's control, it's employment, it's regular check-ins, it's restrictions, it's corrections. It's correction, and if you violate any of it, you will serve the full sentence. Do you understand? Something tightened in Andrei's throat. "I understand." "I'm not asking whether you want it," the judge said. "I'm asking whether you are ready to comply with the conditions." Without lifting his eyes, Andrei answered quietly, "I am ready." The prosecutor whispered something, but the judge raised his hand. "I am giving you a chance," he said firmly. "But this is not a gift, it's a loan. And the interest rate is such that you really don't want to miss a payment. The court hereby rules probation, a trial period, mandatory registration, employment requirement, no leaving the city without permission, contact with individuals of criminal background, questionable." The judge seemed to look right through Andrei, but Andrei felt it clearly. This man would remember his face. And if Andrei ever came back here again, there would be no second loan. When it was over, Andrei stood up slowly, as if his legs didn't belong to him anymore. He didn't know what to do with his hands. The lawyer placed a palm on his shoulder. "Hold on, and don't do anything stupid," he said dryly, like an instruction manual. Andrei nodded. Only then did he turn around. His mother was already standing. She wasn't looking at him with anger or relief. Her eyes were tired. "Let's go," she said quietly. "Mom, Andrei wanted to explain something." Later, she cut him off. "Not here." They stepped into the hallway, which smelled of damp coats and cheap tobacco. Andrei saw Seri and Max. They stood by the window, pretending to just be passing by. But Andrei knew. They came for him. Seri raised an eyebrow first, so still alive. Max smiled. "I told you they wouldn't lock you up. Judges are people too." His mother stopped and looked at them in a way that made Max immediately shut up. Seri straightened instead. "Aunt Olha," he said respectfully, "everything's fine. We're with him." She slowly shifted her gaze to Andrei. "I'm going home. Are you coming?" Inside Andrei, something split in two. Go home with his mother and sit silently at the kitchen table, eating soup, listening to her heavy breathing. Or go with his friends and celebrate, pretend nothing had happened. He hesitated. "I'll take a walk for a bit. Don't worry. I'll come home." She looked at him for a long time. "Just don't turn this into a celebration." And she left. Andrei stayed in the hallway with his friends, as if he had been pushed out of one world and hadn't yet been accepted into another. "Your mum's like a tank," Max muttered. "She should have joined the army." Seri nudged him with his elbow. "Shut up, she's right." Andrei felt shame. and at the same time relief so strong it made him want to laugh and cry at once. "Let's go," Seri said. "Today's okay, but like normal people, no stupid moves." Max winked. "Like normal people, no fights, boring." "No fights," Seri said firmly. "You've got check-ins now, clown." And for the first time that day, Andrei smiled, crookedly, like someone who wasn't used to being lucky. His mother walked home on foot, even though she could have taken a bus. She needed to walk so she wouldn't explode. She passed kiosks, benches, strangers living their small, ordinary lives, and thought only one thing, one more time, and he won't come back. Near the building entrance stood Valya, the neighbor who always knew everyone else's business. "Olha," Valya rushed over. "So, what happened?" His mother stopped, not to talk, but to draw a boundary. "Probation," she said evenly. "Oh, thank God," Valya crossed herself. "I told you he's a good boy, he just what?" his mother asked coldly. Valya hesitated. "Well, his company." His mother looked at the apartment door as if the answer were there. "The company is him," she said. "Until he understands that, no one will help him." Valya opened her mouth, but his mother was already inside. On the stairwell in the darkness, she stopped for a second and allowed herself weakness. She pressed her forehead to the wall and whispered, "Just don't go back." Would she, They went into a small neighborhood bar, not trendy, not stylish, but the kind where a television plays in the corner and the bartender knows everyone by name. Seri ordered 3 shots and a plate of cheap snacks. "To freedom," Max said, raising his glass. Andrei raised his too, but there was no feeling of celebration. It felt like he had signed a contract that could either save him or destroy him. They drank. His throat burned. For a moment it felt easier. "Listen." Max leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You need money now, with probation hanging over your head. You won't last long like this." "I've got an idea." Seri immediately set his glass down. "Not now." "Why not?" Max frowned. "I'm not talking about robbery. It's clean, phones, just a couple, quiet." Andrei felt his stomach tighten. Phones always meant trouble, no matter how quiet. "No," he said shortly. Max blinked. "What, you're already a good boy?" "I'm not good," Andrei said, staring at the table. "I just don't want to go to prison." "Who's gonna send you there?" Max laughed nervously. "You're on probation. You're fragile now, nobody." "That's exactly why," Andrei interrupted, finally looking up. "I'm fragile. I don't want to shatter." Seri stayed silent, but his silence was support. Max leaned back. "All right, you're fragile. Fine, but you can't live on your mum's soup forever." That hit hard because it was true. "I'll find a job," Andrei said. Max snorted. "A job? Have you seen what they pay? In 2 months you'll be angry at the whole world again." Seri finally spoke. "Leave him alone, Max. He's doing the right thing. If you want to hustle, do it yourself, but don't drag him in." Max raised his hands defensively. "I'm not dragging anyone. I'm just offering. I'm a friend too." The word friend hung in the air. They all knew it was true, and also not a guarantee. When Andrei went to the bathroom, Seri leaned toward Max. "You see him? I see him. Playing saint." "Ah, he's not playing," Seri said quietly. "He's scared." Max twirled a toothpick between his fingers. "And you care." Seri looked out the window. "I care that he moves forward, and we stay here like idiots." Max smiled, but the smile was bitter. "We can move forward too." "We can," Seri agreed. "Just not the way you think." Max was silent for a few seconds. What if he actually makes it out?" Seri didn't answer immediately. "Shh. Then either we do too," he said finally, or he didn't finish the sentence. Max understood anyway. When they left the bar, it was dark. The air smelled of wet asphalt and cigarette smoke from someone's balcony. Max wanted to continue, but Seri cut him off. "That's it. Enough. He's got the police station tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" Andrei asked. "What did you think?" Seri looked at him. "You're on a short leash now." They walked Andrei to his building. Max hugged him quickly and whispered, "Don't disappear, and don't act like we're strangers now." Andrei nodded. "You're not strangers." Seri patted his shoulder. "Text me tomorrow. Tell me how it goes." Andrei went inside. The apartment door wasn't locked with the second bolt. His mother always did that when she was waiting for him, like she was afraid he wouldn't come back. He entered. The kitchen light was on. His mother sat at the table with a cup of tea in front of her. She wasn't drinking it, just holding it. "You're back," she said. "I'm back." He wanted to say, "I'm sorry, I'll change, I won't mess up again." But he knew words meant nothing right now. "Did you drink?" she asked. "A little," she exhaled. "I'm not against you seeing your friends. I'm against those friends always being there when there's trouble and disappearing when it's time to work." Andrei lowered his eyes. They were at the court. She nodded, acknowledging the fact. "Good. But remember this, court is not the end. It's the start. And if you go in circles again, She stopped, afraid to say the truth. "What?" he asked quietly. "I won't survive it a second time, Andrei." That was worse than shouting, because it was honest. He sat down across from her. The kitchen was silent. The faucet dripped. "I don't want to go back," Andrei said softly. "I really don't." She nodded. "Then tomorrow the police station. The day after you look for a job. Not someday, immediately. Okay." She paused. "And one more thing. You think I don't know you've got a temper." She waved her hand, searching for the word. "A hooligan nature." He smiled faintly. "Guilty. Then use it not against yourself," she said, pointing at him without anger. "Use it to survive, to become a man. Because I'm tired of carrying everything." That cut deep, but it was fair. "I understand." She stood up, put the cup in the sink, and on her way out of the kitchen said quietly, "Go to sleep. Tomorrow will be a long day." Andrei stayed alone. He stared at the table as if it were a map of his life. Only then did it truly sink in. Probation wasn't freedom. It was a delay, and he didn't know if he knew how to live in a way that wouldn't break it. The station smelled of old paper and cheap coffee. Andrei sat on a chair outside an office, listening to laughter from another room. For a moment he wanted to get up and leave, pretend none of this had happened, but he stayed. The officer came out, not old, not young, about 40 tired eyes. "Andrei Seryovich, come in." The office was simple, a desk, a computer, folders, a poster about crime prevention. The officer didn't play good cop, bad cop. He spoke like someone who had seen hundreds like Andrei. "Listen carefully. I'm not your enemy, but I'm not your friend either. You're under supervision. I need you alive and without stupidity, because if you mess up again, you go inside. And then it's paperwork, prosecutors, court for me. I don't like extra work. Clear, clear. Do you have a job?" "Then you will." The officer leaned forward. "You have 1 month to find official employment. I can be reasonable if you're reasonable. I can be strict if you're clever. The choice is yours." Andrei nodded. "And one more thing," the officer said, studying him. "Who do you associate with?" Andrei's back tensed. "My friends." "I already know their names." The officer smiled faintly without warmth. "I'm asking whether they pull you up or drag you down." Andrei stayed silent. He didn't have an honest answer. "Think about it," the officer said. "And remember this, you don't have to be a saint. You just can't be an idiot." Seri and Max waited near a shawarma stand, pretending they were just hanging out. Both were tense. "You think they'll pressure him?" Max asked between bites. "They won't," Seri said. "He's not interesting to them, not yet." Max swallowed. What if he really goes straight? Are you with him?" Seri looked at Max carefully. "And you?" Max shrugged. "I am too. I just don't want to be broke. I want money." "You can make money legally," Seri said. "It just takes longer." "I don't like longer," Max muttered. "Then you'll like prison," Seri replied calmly. Max went quiet. "He needs us," Max said finally. "Not needs," Seri corrected. "He's ours. If he makes it out, maybe we do too." Max stared at the ground. "And if he doesn't?" Seri lit a cigarette and exhaled slowly. "Then we'll pull him out, because this isn't just about him anymore. It's about us." "Ha!" Andrei walked out of the police station and saw his friends near the shawarma stand. Same scene as always, but it felt different now. Like his old life was standing there, waiting to see whether he would come back. "So," Max shouted, "did they eat you?" "Still alive," Andri said. Siri stepped closer. "How was it? Fine 1 month to find a job," Max whistled. "A job? Well, better than prison." Andri looked at both of them and suddenly felt something new. He didn't hate them. He didn't want to abandon them. But for the first time, he understood friendship wasn't about partying together. Friendship was about standing together when you're scared. "I'm going to look," he said, honestly. Max grimaced, but said nothing. Siri nodded. "Honestly, then, honestly." They walked down the street together. To anyone else, they were just 3 guys. But Andri knew. From this moment on, every step could be either forward or back. He looked up at the low grey sky and thought that maybe, for the first time in his life, he wasn't running anymore, he was just walking. And that was terrifying. But it was real.